Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. Come on in. Now, I just did a mail call video, and I am dressed the same way. I'm doing 2 videos in one day. So, if you watch both of them and I'm dressed the same way, it's not a different day. It's the same day. So, I don't wear the same clothes for 2 days in a row. But anyway, today is our neighborhood chat. Yes, it's time for our weekly neighborhood chat video. I know it comes around really fast. I hope you're doing well. We just had a bad thunderstorm. I hope y'all made it safely to my house. Come on in. Get your drink, your snack. I'm at my table. James is at work tonight. He's on his last night at work. He has 5 days off. Maybe he'll get me out of this house one of those days. We'll see. But anyway, the neighborhood chat. The neighborhood chat is going to be about our vision board cards again. I think that went over really well the last time I made one of those videos. But this time, it's going to be different cards and talking about different things. And I'm just going to pick a card and see if I can talk about it randomly. Because I haven't went over any of these cards. I just grabbed a few. And I was going to see if I could talk about them. So let's get started. I won't do them all. The first one has, I think that's coffee. Let me look at that. No, it may be tea. Either one. It's either coffee, hot coffee, or tea. It must be coffee because I don't see a tea bag. And it says, it's better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live an imitation of somebody else's life with perfection. Now, this speaks volumes because sometimes people don't want to live their own destiny. They see someone else that they want to mimic, copy, want to have their life, want to do things. You know, imitation is the best form of flattery. And it's okay to admire someone and esteem to be like that person if they are successful and you really look up to them, but don't want to be them. You find out what your destiny is and you go for it. No matter how weird or strange or you thinking that you can't reach that destiny because you don't have the money, you don't have the education, you don't have the time. Stop. You do. Just do it. I've known people to go back to school and get a high school diploma when they were in their 40s, maybe even 50. I've known people that go back to college in their 50s to get a nursing degree, another degree. So don't ever think it's too late, because it's not. Go back. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. If you want to find a new job, find a new job. But don't quit your old one until you find a new one if you have to pay bills. Because as adults, I think that's really the one thing we miss about being a child is not having to pay bills. But anyway, live your own life. I think I've said that before. Live your own life. Don't live anyone else's. And don't be envious of anybody else's life. Because you see what they want you to see. Unless you live with them 24/7. Because that person that you think is perfect and has everything and never has to worry about anything, you're not with them all the time. So and you can't read their mind. So they can pretend. But I'm just telling you, don't pretend. Just be who you are. All right, let's see what the next one is. What does she have in her cup? Some kind of drink. I don't really know what that is. I like that shoe though. That's one thing I miss about being in a wheelchair and not being able to walk, is wearing shoes. I used to love shoes. I had a closet full of shoes. And I had to get rid of them because every time I would go open my closet door and see all those shoes in there, that really bothered me. And I just told my husband, I told James, I said, I got to get rid of all these shoes. And once I got rid of them, I was better. So sometimes we need to get rid of things in our life to make us better. If there's something that brings you down every time you look at it, and I'm talking about things, it's not people, because sometimes we can't get rid of people when we look at them and they bring us down. So if something, like my shoes, was bringing me down, and you have the same problem, get rid of it. There's no law that says you have to keep it, is it? If it is, put it down in the comment. So this word is confidence. Now, I've always had confidence. Now, I don't say that in a bragging way. I just have never let anybody intimidate me or make me feel less than, or I don't know. I don't understand not having confidence. But I'm telling you, find your confidence. Do something you wouldn't normally do. That builds your confidence. Start speaking to people more if you're not one to speak to people. Say hello. How are you? Hi. How's your day? Just give them a gesture of, hey. I mean, we do that here in the South. I don't know how that is everywhere else, but in the small town I live in, I'm always speaking to everybody, which I know just about everybody in this town. And that may make a difference. In large cities, which I've never lived, I don't know if you can actually do that. And if you can't, don't test it because I said so, because I would never want to put you in danger. But have confidence. Go for a job that you didn't think you could get. Stand proud. Put notes, like little Post-it notes on your mirrors when you wake up in the morning, positive things. Like, you're beautiful. You're going to be successful. You matter. You're a winner. Things like that. Just positive things. Confidence. The next one is oh my goodness, that looks like so much fun. Confession. I've never been able to wear a bikini. I weighed 128 pounds when James and I got married, and I still never wore a bikini. Ever. They just weren't made for me. But I have jumped off the side of a cliff into water. Now, nothing like that waterfall scene, but I have done that. And you know where they had the little tire swing hooked to a tree, and then you would jump on the tire swing. Somebody would swing you out, and then you would jump into the water. Now, I've done that a lot, too, as a child and as a teenager, and probably in my early 20s. Okay, this one says, more fun, less fear. Okay. Let's talk about this one, because some of us are just afraid to have fun. It's like we feel guilty if we have fun. We're not supposed to, because if we have fun, then that's going to make us feel better. To be honest, some of us don't want to feel better. We like being who we are, and we think having fun is for children. No, having fun is not just for children. But you have to be responsible when you're an adult about having fun and what you think fun is. Now, some of you may be, you want to go out for a good party, drinking, whatever. Be responsible. Don't ride with somebody drinking and driving, and don't you yourself drink and drive. I'm not down in drinking. I'm just saying do it responsibly. Because I will drink a little bit of wine every once in a while. I have been known to drink a cold beer, but it's been a long time. So it's not what you drink, it's the excess of what you drink that makes the problem, that creates other things. Be responsible. Be less curious about people and more curious about ideas. Okay, see there? They're throwing their cap up from graduation. Be less curious about people and more curious about ideas. Now, so what that tells me is stop worrying about somebody else. Why? Why are you so enthralled to go around worried about somebody else? And being on YouTube, I see it all the time. Other channels are worried about other channels, what they're doing, what they're saying. Do they have more, I call them neighbors, but people that join their channel? How many videos have they made? People that have auctions are trying to figure out when somebody else is having auctions, which a lot of times they're doing it out of respect, but sometimes people are just doing it to try to find out when they can bump that person's numbers down. I mean, I know this for a fact. And stop. Stop wanting to hurt somebody else to make yourself feel better. Because it won't make you feel better, but just for a second. And then you'll be on to the next person. So that tells me right there that you should be more curious about ideas. Now, if you start thinking about how something works, how you want to make something, like cook a recipe, or how a dress is made, or something that you don't know, be curious about it. But stop being so enthralled with somebody else's life that's not yours. Especially if the person don't want you in their life. Now, I've seen that on YouTube. People don't want other people in their auction or their lives. And, we have that block button. We block them. And I think that's perfectly okay. Because it's your channel. And if you don't want certain people in there that you think's going to disrupt your channel, block them. That's what that button's for. But make sure you block the right person that's stirring up all the stuff. Investigate what's going on. Next card. It has a journal. Yeah, I think that's a journal. Yeah. I keep a journal every single day. When I'm doing my devotion and reading my little cards for the day, I blindly pick 2 of these cards every day and kind of say, well, is that how my day's going to go? What can I learn from those 2 things, that what it says on that card? Just say, if I was to pick this card this morning, and it said, we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. Now, say I got that card this morning, and I would think, okay, something's going to happen today that I'm going to have to remember this quote. And most of the time, I do. I say, oh my goodness, that was my vision board card. But what are you thinking? I mean, are you constantly thinking about what somebody else is doing? How they're living their life? How to harm them? How to be mean to them? how to bring negative things to their life, how to hurt their YouTube channel, gossiping about them, telling others how bad they are. I mean, is that what you're doing? Stop. Think on other things, because you become what you think. Don't become a talebearer and a gossiper. I mean, no, nobody wants those. Well, you know, those kind of people tend to hang around each other. You know, if you find the talebearers, you'll see them in a group because they all are together. They like to hang out. The gossipers like to hang out. The troublemakers like to hang out. You know, they just all just like to hang out together. Okay, this is the next one. And we may have done this, but we need to hear it again. There is only one happiness in life: to love and be loved. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's to love people and let people love you. Yeah, it's just that simple. Try to make it difficult because we want to make it difficult because we want to appear like we know it all. We have a big psychology degree. We well educated. We're versed in relationships. No. It is only to love and to be loved. Now, if you can do those two things, everything else that you're worried about, upset about, can't fix, it'll just be taken care of. Yeah, I believe that. I've seen it happen in my life, so I know that it can happen in yours. Okay. Doesn't that look inviting? Oh, wow, a hammock. Oh, I don't even think I can get in a hammock now with my disability, but I would love to have a hammock. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within ourselves in your way of thinking. See, it goes back to your thinking. Are you getting up every morning dreading it, can't stand it, letting people control your mind because you're thinking on them instead of on your job or on your kids or on your husband or other family members? You've let somebody else get up in there, and that's all you can think about is that broken relationship you had with a friend, or some broken relationship that doesn't even matter, that you probably are supposed to let go of anyway. But no, just hang on and you get destroyed. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. Don't do it. Life's too short. Then you have this. Now that's kind of, it's a walkway, so it's a hall. Looks like in a cathedral. It says, I always deserve the best treatment because I never put up with any other. That is so true. Ever how someone treats you, you allow it. If you let them do it over one time and don't correct them. If you don't want to be treated a certain way, you can stop it. You can tell that person, I'm more valuable than that. You're not going to treat me that way. You may have treated somebody else that way, but not me. And that's where that confidence comes in. Because once you do that 1 or 2 times, and you're not used to doing that, it gets easier. So you just need to tell people back off. Because they're not going to talk to you in a bad way. They're not going to put you down. They're not going to mistreat you. Because if they're doing that and saying they're your friend, boy, that's a warped way of thinking. To try to make somebody think by you putting them down, by them putting you down, they're your friend. Now, how is that even possible? Now, advice, yes. If you ask me for advice, I'm going to give you advice. But other than that, I feel like you're an adult and you got it. If you're not asking me for advice, then I feel like you got it. Go for it. I don't want anybody telling me what to do. And I know you don't want people telling you what to do. And there's a difference between telling somebody what to do and asking for advice. Just remember that. This one's a good one. That's the back of it. It says, do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. Now, no matter if you do what that other person wants you to do, or whether you do what you want to do, somebody's going to criticize you. Somebody's going to talk about you. Somebody's going to not like you. Somebody's going to make fun of you. So what difference does it make? You don't have to be around that person, but you will be living your true self if you go and do something that you really want to do. Stop letting people push you around. You'll be glad you did. I'm trying to find a good card. Here's a good one. We've done this one before, but I think it goes right along with what we're talking about. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Why do you want to be somebody else? Stop. Look in the mirror and say, I'm enough. I'm going to be me. And if you don't know who that is, find out. Do you just do things because everybody else is doing them and you're not really doing things that in your heart you actually desire and love to do? I mean, you may love music, but everybody else wants to play a sport. But really, you want to be play the piano, play a musical instrument. But everybody else likes football, baseball, softball, basketball. So you just go along with them because you want friends. You don't think there's friends over there in the music world? And sometimes we have to stand alone to get to where we want to go. And being alone is not a big deal. Being alone can be good sometimes. Being alone and by yourself is a lot different than being lonesome. Being lonesome is wanting somebody there, a need for somebody. Being alone is when there's nobody around but you like yourself. And I like to be alone sometimes. I'm alone a lot. If I didn't like me, as much as I'm alone, I would have already went to the crazy house. But I can entertain myself. I can, I don't have to have somebody to entertain me. I can do things. All right. I don't think we've done this one. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. That's what we're working on. We are traveling on this journey to become who we truly are. And once we find out, and to work on it, to perfect it. Now, are we ever going to perfect it? No. Because we're not going to be perfect. None of us. There's not going to be perfection. So don't beat yourself up if you feel like you need to be perfect, because you're not going to be. There's no perfect person in this world right now. No one. In my religion, there was only one perfect person, and that person's not here anymore. So, no, you're not gonna reach perfection. But there's nothing wrong with striving for perfection. Okay, one more. Let's make this good. What we got? Oh, this is a good one. Make the best use of what's in your power and take the rest as it happens. Now, so often, oh my goodness, we want to control things, everything and everybody, and we want everything to go our way. No, the only thing we can control is ourselves, our attitude, our emotions, what we look like, how we treat others. Now, all that we can control. But other than that, we're not controlling anything. You may wake up in the morning thinking you got it all under control and you're going to make happen whatever you want to happen. And let me tell you something, it can change in a second. And oh my gosh, a person that wants to control everything, they're so uptight. They're wound so tight that I feel sorry for them. They can't sleep at night. They're always upset when things don't go their way. They lash out at people. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to control anybody or anything. I just want to live my life and take care of me and love others. That's what I want to do. So, we have had some more of my vision board cards, and I hope you've enjoyed them. And remember, I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. We have one life to live. Go out there and live it. You might end up just like me one day and can't go as much as you used to go. You better go while you can. You better get it while you can get it. Because life can throw you a curveball. I'm living proof of that. And you have to adjust. Like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you'll know the next time I'm coming to you with a video. Hit that thumbs up and share me out so I can get more neighbors just like you. See you later, neighbor. Bye.